It's 7:10 p.m.
Get on up like a step. Get on up. Get on up. Get up. Ah!
Hello! West Alameda! It's after 7 o'clock. Time to give a shout out. Thank you to all the frontline and the essential workers, to those doctors, the nurses, the medical staff, the bus drivers, the truck drivers, the longshoremen, the farm workers, those who work in the stores, those who work in the restaurants, the postal employees, farm workers. So please, if you hear my voice, would you clap your hands, honk your horns, shout, make some noise? Yeah! Frontline workers, we thank you, we appreciate you. Hey, what's up, y'all? That was nice. The people outside, they honked their horn. So, that's a good thing. Hey, Denise, how you doing? Good to see you on here. So, as always, I want to ask everybody to say a prayer and keep in your thoughts all those who have died from coronavirus all over the world. Today is day 322, and as of 6:30 p.m., ask how many fatalities, how many people have died from coronavirus all over the world. And this is what it is right here in the United States. I ask you to also to remember those, or, to think about and pray for those who have, who are tested positive for COVID-19, people who are in the hospital for non-related COVID, non-related things that don't have anything to do with coronavirus. Just, they're sick, surgery, physical, emotional, mental things people are going through. So just ask all of you to, pray for them and think about them. And so tonight, when I say their name, this is about ANTWON Rose. Now, this actually happened 2 years ago. So I'm going to show you a little bit about what they show on here for him.
Cell phone video appears to show ANTWON Rose Jr. running from police on Tuesday night. 3 gunshots can be heard. Police say the video might not tell the whole story. Susan Copen of our Pittsburgh station, KDKA, is at East Pittsburgh Police Headquarters. Susan, good morning.
Good morning. This area was filled with demonstrators yesterday. The police officer involved in the shooting has not been identified, but we do know that he was new to the force and had just been sworn in. People in this community are outraged and looking for answers. What do we want? Justice! When do we want it now? Protesters filled the streets, at one point blocking a law enforcement vehicle. They're demanding answers in Tuesday night's fatal police shooting of ANTWON Rose Jr., captured on cell phone video. Why are they shooting at him? Rose is seen in a light-colored t-shirt and appears to be running away from police. Rose was shot 3 times and died at a local hospital.
Still doesn't even feel real that he's gone.
Allegheny County Police Superintendent Coleman McDonough.
I understand in today's atmosphere. Anytime a young man is killed, there's cause for outrage in some areas.
McDonough says the officer involved has been placed on administrative leave as they conduct an independent investigation.
I would urge people to give us time to conduct an objective investigation to gather facts.
McDonough says the vehicle Rose was in matched a car involved in a nearby drive-by shooting. One person in the car was detained and later released, and police say they found 2 firearms in the vehicle. But Rose was unarmed as he and another suspect ran away and the officer opened fire. Rose's uncle says he sees rage growing in his community amid reports the officer had just joined the force.
Police officers, I know they got a very hard job and everything, but you know what? You got to be fit for the job.
Superintendent McDonough says the police officers involved did not have body cameras and there were no cameras in the police cars to capture this incident. There is another protest planned for later today, and that third suspect who fled from police is still up.
CNN is learning new details about the shooting death of ANTWON Rose. According to the district attorney, an autopsy report found that Rose was shot in the right side of the face, the right elbow, and in the back. And it was the wound to his back that killed him. Meanwhile, the East Pittsburgh officer who shot and killed Rose has been arrested this morning. He's been charged with criminal homicide. All of this is we're waiting for an update from the district attorney in just moments. Let's go to our Athena Jones, who's live in Pittsburgh with more this morning. A number of details about how he died, what shot it was that took his life, the account of the police officer that is changing. All of that has just come out. What can you tell us?
Hi, Poppy. That's right. There are a lot of details in this criminal complaint and in the affidavit. The criminal complaint says that Officer Rosfeld, quote, intentionally, knowingly, recklessly, or negligently caused the death of ANTWON Rose, another human being. And this complaint, the affidavit that is attached to these charges, cites several witnesses, several of whom restate or confirm that ANTWON Rose's hands were empty as he fled the police vehicle Tuesday night of last week. The affidavit does say that there was an empty 9mm Glock magazine found in Rose's pocket at the hospital. But what's interesting here is what we're learning from the officer, Officer Michael Rosfeld. He was interviewed on Friday by investigators, and this is what he told them. He said the front seat passenger, who was ANTWON Rose, exited the car, and he said turned his hand toward Rosfeld. Rosfeld said he saw something dark that he perceived as a gun. But when investigators asked him again later in the interview, Rosfeld told detectives he did not see a gun when the passenger emerged. When he was confronted with this inconsistency, Officer Rosfeld said he saw something in the passenger's hand, but was not sure what it was. He also said he was not certain if the individual who had his arm pointed toward him was still pointing at him when he fired the shots. So those are some of the details we're learning from this affidavit. As you mentioned, Rosfeld was arrested and fingerprinted according to the criminal docket. We also have an interesting question that could come up at this press conference with the district attorney, Stephen Zappala. His spokesperson, Mike Manko, has said on the issue of bail, their office argued vigorously against the setting of bail in this case, citing Pennsylvania law. And so they disagree with the judge's decision in this case to set bail for Michael Rosfeld.
Okay.
Wow. Y'all see that? Y'all. So wow. So first of all, this was 2 years ago. And I have no idea what the final disposition of the case was, whether he went to jail or got out, or he got that qualified immunity that the police have and all that stuff. I don't know. I just looked up names, and this is one of the names that I found. He was shot in the back. Y'all remember the guy that I talked about last night, Casey Goodson? He was shot in the back. Okay. Casey Goodson didn't even have a gun. All he had was a bag of sandwiches and keys in his hands. And that cop that shot him. So, I don't know. I mean, we could talk about the fact that, yeah, the young man was in a car and it was a drive-by shooting. My understanding is that the other person, they caught him and he confessed to actually being involved in the drive-by shooting. And, Antoine had nothing to do with the shooting. He took off running. Why he had the gun in his pocket? I don't even know. Did he have the gun in his pocket? So I don't know about all that. And then the judge gives the cop bail, even though according to Pennsylvania law, they were not supposed to give bail when it comes to this type of charge, but he gave him bail. Y'all remember that the little 17-year-old white boy that killed 2 people during the Black Lives Matter protest? And he got out on $2 million bail, and then he then took off. I don't even know if they caught him or not. I don't know. But I mean, the whole thing is like, justice system is not justice because they don't do us the way they do them. All right, and that's just how it is. But yeah,
John, thank you very much.
I just keep on, I post these things, and, you have to make your own decisions. You make your own judgment. I'm going by, like I said, this is like news 2 years ago, but the whole thing is like, look at what's going on. Look at what's going on. Nothing has changed in 2 years. Nothing has changed in 6 years. Nothing has changed in 10 years. Nothing has really changed since, the whole thing with look at George Stein Jr., 13 years old, electrocuted by the state of North Carolina. Look at, Emmett Till, killed by Ku Klux Klan. So, I don't know, y'all. What are we talking about? We're talking about we just want there to be equal treatment. Just, we want them to get the same kind of treatment we get. And I say it again, Joyce Brown, that's my friend from San Francisco from the Fillmore. She said it herself. We just want the police to not shoot us the way they don't shoot them. And I would also reverse that by saying, if you're going to shoot us, then you shoot them. Whatever you do to us, do to them. Whatever you don't do to them, don't do it to us. That's all I'm saying, man. I don't know. But anyway, I didn't go out today. I stayed home, so I didn't have to wear my mask. 322 days, and I would venture to say that out of those 322 days, I have not gone outside, left the house 20 days where I didn't go outside. I don't think I even went to the mailbox, which reminds me I do have to go to the mailbox, check my mail. But, it is what it is. So, Mabuhay, Ashe, Harambe, Amandla, Hokahe, Mahalo, Wakanda Forever, Shalom, Assalamu Alaikum, Wa Alaikum Assalam. Hey, y'all, right on. Stay strong, stay safe, wear that mask. That's all we can do. All right? I'm out of here.